Yo, 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 yo. Let's get to it, baby. Let's get to it. First and foremost, congratulations. Congratulations to the Philadelphia Phillies for not only clinching the NL East, but also getting a bye as the number 2 seed. Now, if y'all don't know me, for those that do, my name is Blackout Jones. This is Just Shooting the Sports. Let me kind of give you a little background on, for the people that don't know, that may be joining this channel for the first time or viewing this channel for the first time. Yes, majority of my content, I do talk about Tennessee football, Tennessee Volunteers, the University of Tennessee. Yes, I do. But for those that may not have done it, and for those that know, if you go back to my early episodes, my early content that I put out, it was called Who is Blackout Jones? And pretty much I explained that I love all sports. I am a fan of the Phillies. I am a fan of the Flyers. I am a fan of the Sixers. I am a fan of the Commanders. And I am a fan of the Tennessee Vols. Yes, sir. If I want to give you a little background on why I'm a Tennessee Vol fan and why I'm a Philly fan, well, hell, just check out my episode called Who is Blackout Jones? But without any further ado, let's talk about the 2025 Major League Baseball postseason, and especially my Philadelphia Phillies. Let's go.
Survive if I let you.
Hey, so let's go ahead and get to it, Phillies fans. The Philadelphia Phillies finished the season 96 and 66 record, which was second best in the entire majors, and one game behind the Milwaukee Brewers. The Phillies, as I already stated, received the first round bye as the number 2 seed, and they will be playing in the National League Divisional Series, waiting on the winner of the Cincinnati Reds and the LA Dodgers, who are playing in the wild card round. Now, at one point during this season, it looked like the Mets and the Phillies were going to go down to the wire to determine the NL East championship, but the Mets began a epic, and I mean epic, descent to the abyss. They were nowhere to be found anymore. And while the Phillies rose and took an 11-game winning streak, an 11-game lead with only 15 games remaining, and clinching the NL East title on September 15th with a 6-5 win against those same Dodgers that we might be playing in the NLDS. Now, during the season, we had 4 pitchers to win more than 10 games, and those pitchers were Christopher Sanchez, who had a 2.49 ERA, Jesus Luzardo, who had a 3.92 ERA, and I'm going to get back to Jesus in a minute here. Ranger Suarez, 3.20 ERA, and we get to him as well. And then Zach Wheeler, who had a 2.71 ERA. Now, unfortunately for Zach Wheeler, we lost him during the season, and he had to have surgery to treat what is called a venous thoracic outlet, which requires a 68-month recovery. But thankfully, he was able to pull through, because we all know that blood clots can end your life. Now, for those that may not know what that is that he had, even for me, basically it's a condition where the blood vessels or nerves in the space between the collarbone and the first rib become compressed. This can cause pain, numbness, and weakness in the arm and the hand. So with him being a pitcher, that was very important. But hey, life is more than just the game itself. Hopefully he has a speedy recovery and we're able to see him back on the mound next season. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the offense. Trey Turner, he batted a .305 batting average, which led the National League. Kyle Schwarber bombs everywhere. You name it. It's over here. It's over there. It's out the building. Damn it, it hit the Rocky statue at the steps. All that shit. But anyway, Kyle Schwarber had 56 home runs, which led the National League, but was second in the majors. right behind Cal Raleigh. Well, Cal didn't do too much when he came to Philly, but that's no here nor there. Matter of fact, he looked mediocre at best. But anyway, let's move on. Now, Kyle Schwarber had 132 RBIs, which led all majors. Also, he had a .365 on-base percentage. And then Trey Turner, he had 179 hits, which was second in the National League. Now, as far as the pitching is concerned, I talked about, we had 4 pitchers that had 10 or more wins. Now, Jesus Luzardo, he was the leader. He had 15 wins. Christopher Sanchez had a 2.49 ERA, which was best on the team. Jesus Luzardo also had 216 strikeouts, which was a team lead. And Johan Duran, who we got from the Minnesota Twins, along with Bader, had 16 saves. And then Matt Strom had 22 holds. And if you don't know what 22 holds or holds are, I'll go ahead and explain that to you. Basically, what that means is you have the setup man. And the setup man before the closer, as long as he doesn't give up any runs, he keeps a lead, he keeps it clean, nobody scores, nobody does anything. That's pretty much what a hold is. He has done his job for that inning and a half or 2. And then the closer, whoever that may be, whether it's Duran, whether it's Robinson, then they go ahead and take care of business, and that's that. But he did his part as the setup guy. Now, this is a how can I put this? Would I say this is it? As far as the team is concerned, as far as the Phillies are concerned, is this their window? Is their window opportunity closing more and more? Because, we shocked the world a couple years back as a wild card team. We beat the Cardinals, ran through the Braves, and then we ran through the Padres, played the Astros, had a chance to win the World Series, which we haven't won since 2008, and we came up short. Next season, we get to the National League Championship Series again, and we come up short again against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Last year was a complete debacle. Lost to the Mets. Mets manhandled us, pretty much. They've always kind of been a thorn in our side. Even during this season, they were a thorn until towards the end, where we took care of business. And shit, they couldn't find their bats, let alone their pitching. But now I truly feel that we have, if not the best, one of the best squads in the majors. One of the best players probably one of the best rosters of all majors. I think we have the best roster up from the first hitter on down to the last. The pitching, and the reason why I said I was going to talk about Jesus Luzardo and talk about Ranger Suarez and those guys, because for the simple fact, the thing about Jesus is this: if you get him early, he's done for. I put it like this: if you get him early and our bats are not clicking, then we're done. But if he's on from the jump, the opposition is in trouble. I've seen that happen all year long. I've seen it where Jesus will have this thing where he'll give up 4 or 5 runs in the first 2 innings. And if our bats are not working, we lose that game. If they are, somehow we come back, because why? Jesus has chilled out, he has settled in, and then he can do what he does best. And that's strike folks out, plain and simple. And then we got Ranger Suarez. There was a point in time in the season where I was worried about Ranger, because I knew the old Ranger. I know Ranger could go up there and he could throw it with the best of them. But then when it really mattered after the All-Star break, when it really mattered, when he had to go out there and win games for us to become division champions and for us to take that gigantic lead on the Mets, he played lights out. He played lights out. He pitched lights out. Now, towards the end, had a little trouble here and there, but it wasn't that bad. He got maybe a couple points, a couple, scores here and there, but our offense wasn't going, wasn't clicking either. But besides that, he was lights out to the end, towards the end of the season. Christopher Sanchez, you can't say enough, man. He's been lights out as well. He's rarely gotten in any trouble. But when he has, it is what it is. You're not going to win all your games as a pitcher. But I put him right. I put him up there right with the best of them as well. In regards to now Bueller, we ended up getting him from I want to say we got him from the Red Sox, if I'm not mistaken. I think the Red Sox let him go. And then I want to say we picked him up. He's been doing really good. He has. He's been doing really well. Really well. Since he's been, with the Phillies. I want to say he was with us before. And then he came right back. But I'll say this, man. He's playing lights out. In regards to our pitching staff, I'm looking up some stats right now. I'm trying to get to the stats. And I want to get to the pitching. Reason why I want to get to the pitching because let's look at it right here. Christopher Sanchez, he has a 13-5 record. Jesus has a 15-7 record. Now Ranger, he has a 12-8 record. Like I said, toward the end a little bit, couple games, he kind of, he didn't pitch his best. And Zach Wheeler finished with a 10-5 record. Now, Aaron Nola. Let's talk about Aaron Nola. Let's talk about it. Aaron Nola ain't been Nolaing whatsoever. Yes, I understand. He got injured. He got hurt. He was out for a while. But shit, even before that, he wasn't Nolaing at all. He was giving up 4 or 5 runs, damn it, before I could fix my dinner. And then what was the worst part of it was, hell, we didn't have no offense either. No offense. And if we did, he still gave up too many runs. And we still lost. Now, with all that being said, can we get playoff Nola? Because we know what playoff Nola looks like. Lights out. Playoff Nola is lights out. Can we get playoff Nola? Because if we can get playoff Nola, I'll say this. In regards to the NLDS, I know who my starting pitchers would be. Who will be y'all starting pitchers? I'd definitely like to know that in the comments. Because my starting pitchers will go as follows. I will start out with Ranger. Ranger will go in game 1. Jesus will go in game 2. Sanchez will go in game 3. And Nola will go in game 4. Now, I know you notice I ain't say nothing about Taijuan Walker. Taijuan Walker look like he don't care when he be out there pitching. He don't give 2 shits about nothing. And it shows. Now, I was a big fan of Taijuan when he didn't even make the we were in the playoffs, but he never got a chance to pitch. And that was the year he was hot. He was winning games. And I was like, why they not putting Taijuan in there? What's the deal with that? Because I think he had over 10 plus wins. Oh, he was looking good. I was a big fan of his. I had his back a couple years ago. This year, not so much. I mean, that man has a 5-8 record. He's right down there with Aaron Nola. What are we gonna do? And then you got the one dude. Oh God, what's the one dude that we bring in? What's his name? Is it Max Lazar? I think it is Max Lazar. No, it's Jordan Romano. Don't put Jordan Romano in. Please don't. I can hit a home run off Jordan. I'm lying. He's a major leaguer. Ain't no way, boy. Ain't no way. I'm just talking. But besides that, don't put Romano in. Please don't. He should not get no burn in the playoffs at all. Not even 2/3 of an inning. None of that. But anyway, I say all that to say this. We have the talent. We have the bats. We have the pitching. If Aaron Nola can put it together when it matters, we can't be beat. We should be wearing that ring out at the end of all this. 17 years later, we should be able to call ourselves World Series champions, bar none. Bar none. There's nothing that will stop us except ourselves. Plain and simple. Hell, even when Trey Turner was out, we were still on fire with our bats. Alec Bohm was out. We were still on fire with our bats. We had a couple of guys that came in. Let me go to my batting here. Who's the one guy that was going like Otto Kemp? Otto Kemp was playing good ball. Max Kepler, good ball. But the guy that I think is going to be the wild card for us in the playoffs, that man Edmundo Sosa. Call me Sosa. Not Sosa from Scarface. Definitely not Sammy Sosa. Edmundo Sosa. He's going to be our guy. He's going to be our guy. That man came back from injury, and oh my God, he's doing nothing but hitting home runs. Because you know why? Because we're the Broad Street Bombers. Since 1883, you see it. Broad Street Bombers. You see it. You see it. And if I had my damn championship ring here, I'll show that too. So let's get it together. Let's win these games. And another thing that I want to point out, the intra-squad scrimmages, I'm all for that. Why? Because we've seen what has happened in these playoffs in recent years since they started the wild card round. Just because you first and just because you second don't mean you're going to win the championship. We did it to a couple of teams named the Braves 2 times. The Dodgers have failed. There's been a lot of number 1 seeds and a lot of number 2 seeds that just couldn't get to the next round. And I mean the NLCS round. There have been shockers. So I love the fact that we're going to do this inter-squad scrimmage. Keep our bats hot. Keep it loose. Be in game time shape when it's time to play, because trust me, neither Cincinnati or LA is an easy out. And you know the playoffs can be very, very, very ungrateful. We've been through it. I truly believe this is the year where we get it done. We might have some trials and some tribulations. Hell, we may go down in a couple series, a couple games in these series. But I truly believe we have the bats, we have the pitching, we have the leadership that can get it done. With all that being said, this is your boy, Blackout Jones. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. Hit that notification bell, because I will be talking about these Phillies all through these playoffs. Now, for those that wondering why I haven't talked about the Phillies all season, well, because I don't be in baseball all season. It's 162 damn games. I want to talk about my Phillies when it matters. And right now, 2025 Major League postseason, this is when it matters. And I'll be talking about them for the rest of these playoffs. And then, when spring training gets here, I'll talk about them again. Hopefully, we'll be hoisting that World Series trophy. Let's go Phils. And this your boy, Blackout Jones, and this is just shooting the sports. Let's get it.
Survive.